Alrighty. It has been a week, y'all. A literal week and a half. Oy. Good morning. I'm good. How are you today? I'm feeling much, much better than I have been the last couple of weeks. Or the last couple of days. It has been a literal week and a half. Like, I don't even know how to explain. Well, it has been a little bit of a process. So, my dad passed away on November the 18th, and I have not been myself for the last little while. I have been a little bit all over the place in my brain. Got to a point where my kitchen has been an absolute disaster area for the last little while, actually. I have to clean that up again today because we have been preparing for the celebration of life service, and yeah. So I have been baking all evening. I made lemon pound cake, and I'm going to clean my kitchen up again this morning because I literally cleaned it specifically to bake last night, and now it's a mess all over again. I'm glad that you're doing well. So I'm going to clean up after myself again today. Maybe go for a little bit of a walk. We'll do some stuff probably. It's been a little while since I have felt like me, and I'm finally starting to feel a tiny bit better. The service is tomorrow at the fire hall. Oh. So my grandmother and I have been making all of the arrangements for the service for my dad because my mother's a little bit not doing so great, honestly. She's kind of, well, she's definitely not herself, but she's never been fully sane. She's going more insane than normal. Don't really know how to describe exactly what that means. Love my mother dearly, but she is a little bit not completely sane. However, here lately she's been a lot less sane than normal. She definitely needs grief counseling, and she's kind of refusing to even think about talking about it. It's something. One of my brothers and his child's mother were at my house the other night. Apparently, she's been stirring my father's ashes. At least he says she is. I don't know. She says she's not. Yeah. So, yeah, my mother's gone quite insane. It's been a process for her, definitely. However, you know, when your husband refuses to go to the hospital for multiple years and he suddenly gets diagnosed with a long-term type of cancer that slowly stole his mind and then started stealing his body without anybody even fully realizing. And then she realized after they move into an uninsulated camper trailer with no freaking... Oh, everything has been an absolute mess for them for the last 3 years, but it's slowly, hopefully, going to get better. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, feeling a little bit more myself today. Anyway, plus sides. Gotta try to find those, right? So, how's everybody else doing? Why do I always leave that cupboard open? Oh, where do I start? I suppose I should start by putting the clean dishes away, picking up all the dirty dishes, cleaning everything up. Oy vey. Then I have to start making tuna sandwiches, egg salad sandwiches, and I have to go pick up bologna and cheese and... No, I should have some more coffee first. That's what I should do. Have some more coffee first and get myself a little bit more energy. Because heaven only knows that I need a tiny bit more energy. Oh. Well, less that I need more energy and more that I need to relax a little bit because I'm not very good at that. Terrible at relaxing. I have never, ever, ever been one to relax at all. It's a problem. It's a big problem. It's a big, bad problem that nobody should ever, ever have. Ever, in my opinion. So we're going to go live again later on after I finish this morning's live because I have found a channel that I want to share with everybody. Alrighty. Have some coffee. Coffee. Who doesn't need coffee in the morning? I literally just need some more energy before I get started on everything. Honestly, I can't believe that it took me this long to start feeling a tiny bit like myself again. Oy. So I actually did go live not long ago. It did not go very well. Oh Lord. I ended up privating that one like fully. I'm not even gonna edit it down and repost it simply because it went from a reaction video and talking about politics to talking about religion and then talking about morals and then talking about dad's morals and then sitting there crying telling stories about my dad feeding the dog crackers like a moron. Yeah. Yeah. Sitting around crying with my dog. So, oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys I have my dad's dog now too. Speaking of, I do believe I hear Senor Donk. Hello, mister. How are you doing, buddy? Come on, senor. How's it going? I know, handsome. I'm such a good boy. I'm such a good boy. I know I'm such a good boy. What am I up to, huh? Oh, senor. Yes, I'm such a good boy. I know. It's just awful being a dog, isn't it? Isn't it just awful being a dog? You want to come up? You want to come up and get hugs? No, you don't want to come up and get hugs right now? He says, no, I'm not feeling it right now, sis. I want my soft food. Okay, I'll be right back. There you go, mister. Okay, we got Duncan his soft food. Yeah, Senor Donk's a good boy. He's really, really old, though. Yes, he is. Hi, Miss Ness. Yes, you want your breakfast now, too? Here you go, miss. Hey, senor. Oh, lordy. Nessa, Duncan's gonna steal your food. Hi, Bunker Boy. What, do I gotta chop it up better? Here, Miss Ness. Dunk. No, you let her eat her food. Come on. Come on, mister. Let her eat her breakfast. You just ate all yours speedily. Come on. Let her eat her breakfast. I know, buddy, but she's got to eat too. Duncan. Oh, my land. Ness, you eat your brekkie. Go eat your brekkie. Duncan's going to steal your food. Aw, buddy. Skirt, 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 skirt. Duncan. Duncan. No, mister. Let Nessa eat her food. Come on then, Miss Ness. Why do I have to do this? There you go, Miss Ness. Duncan, you let her eat. You just ate all yours. You let her eat. I know, but I know. It's just awful being a dog, isn't it? You have to let Nessa eat her food as well as eat yours. I know you can't eat everyone's food as well as yours, though, bud. Nezzy. Come here, miss. You gotta eat your food or Duncan's gonna steal it. Okay, Duncan. I'll give you a chunk. Look, Duncan's gonna steal your food. Oh my land, Dunk. Okay. So, Nessa here has a little bit of a jealous bone going on. And where Duncan just lost my dad, she has been demanding a whole lot of attention. And by a whole lot of attention, I mean she's making me hand feed her soft food. Come here, miss. Like, I have to. So Duncan has no problem eating his breakfast right now. Nessa is making me hand feed it to her piece by piece so that Duncan doesn't eat her breakfast on her. I know, Miss, I know. I know. Isn't it just awful being a dog, having to share your mom sometimes? No. Now I've got to wash my hands because I'm covered in dog food and drool. Oh, Dunkaroo. All right. Now that that's all done, alrighty. Man, it must be just awful being a dog. Oh, run around, just whine to get attention, do whatever the fudge you please. Especially at their age, they're both 16. Like, Dunker. They literally do whatever they please. Aye, buddy. I know, mister, I know. So, Duncan is Husky Lab and Little River, and Nessa is Husky and Beagle. And they are both 16, and they are both adorable and sweet. And lovable. So I don't know what it was this morning. For some reason, the only way that I could like keep myself from being sick was going outside into the cold. I literally had to freeze myself to keep from throwing up. I don't know what it is. Something's going on with me. The heat is literally making me sick. I'm sitting here in the middle of winter with my freaking window open, just blasting cold air at myself. Oh. Oh. Funny thing is, we were in the middle of a historic drought. We were the most of the way through the first month of winter and nothing. Absolutely not even rain. Like it rained maybe twice from the beginning of summer until around, well, 20th of November, 19th, 20th of November. Bad time. All of a sudden, it's almost like he wanted to go when he did just so his spirit could soothe the land. Because it has not stopped raining or snowing ever since. To a point that the rivers and wells have all filled back up. But yeah, I have my daddy's Dunkaroo dog, and he's doing extremely well for a really old dog. Hi, Bunker Boy. What? Oh? Oh! You gotta go pee? You wanna say something to everybody? Yeah. Okay. Well, then. So, Duncan Talks. I do believe I left my jacket out there, guys. Oh, it's right there. Give me a second, fellas. As Nan would have said, oh, geez, you fellas, give me a second. Duncan! Well, I should have figured out that didn't have a second. He just lost his bladder on the floor. I'll get them off. I'll get them off and I'll take you again. Okay, done. Okay, done. It's okay, bud. I know you can't help it. You're ancient. It's okay, buddy. I know you can't help it. You're as old as the hills on my great grandmother's chest. Come on, bud. It's all good, buddy. Come on, guys. Come on. I'll remop that in a second. Poor old guy can't help it. He's ancient. See, he's going again. Ness! I know, you always got bark at everything, don't you, girl? Oh, Dunker. Oh, Nessa. Hi, buddy. Nessa. Gonna pretend I didn't just almost trip over a leaf pile. you doing, silly girl? Dunker. Give him some privacy. Oh, Lord. These two are just the cutest thing ever. Dunker, you're going to get your line tangled. Dunker, you're going to get your line tangled. I told ya. Come on, bud. Come over this way. Duncan, you're a twisted sister. Or, I guess a twisted brother. Let me see you, pal. Boy. There you go, buddy. Oh, there you go, buddy. There you go, mister. Come on, Missy. What doing? You want back in now, bud? Come on, Miss. Nessa Boo. Come here, miss. Come on. Come on, Missy. Nessa. Come on, Miss Ness. Come on. Okay, Duncan's deaf, honey. You're not. Come on. You have the best hearing of everything in the entire world. I'm pretty sure you're a bat sometimes. Yes, roll. Yes, I know. You're having a roll in the snow. Come on, old girl. Okay. Alrighty, we're gonna have to change that water here shortly. Okay. I hath hopefully finished being bombarded by geriatric doggos. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I delivered. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside. The day the music died. So bye, Miss American Pie. I drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die." Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so, do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronco buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck. But I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. We were singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie." I drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die." 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone. But that's not how it used to be. Well, the jester sang for the king and queen in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. And while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned. No verdict was returned. Now, I was a lonely teenage brown buck with a pink carnation in a pickup truck. But I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. They were singing bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die." I met a girl who sang the blues, and I asked her for some happy news. But she just smiled and turned away. I went down to the store where I heard the music years before. But the man there said the music wouldn't play. The three men I admired most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they caught the last train for the coast. The day the music died. Anyway, am I the a-hole? This one is from Old Car 2105. Am I the a-hole for not giving my wedding dress away? I, female 32, was married to male 34. We got married at 19 and 21. We got divorced at 29 and 31 due to him having an affair with our neighbor, female 25, now 28. Oof. My apologies to you, OP. I had filed for divorce and kept everything besides his car and his savings account. Thankfully, we didn't have any kids. Our wedding was no expense to Our wedding was no expense was too much. His family was very religious and believes you only marry once and never divorce. So the wedding was huge. Okie dokie then, OP. All of his family pitched in along with mine. According, both families were well off. Okay. Over $50,000 was spent on the wedding altogether. That's a lot of moolah. My dress was custom made and tailored to my liking. $15,000 was spent on my dress alone. Holy Hannah. My ex worked for his family company and was well off only due to this context is important for the story. Hello, Christy Lopardo. Pleasure to have you in the chat. After our divorce, I lost contact and didn't know much about him until last week. He reached out asking if he could have my wedding dress back. No. I told him no, it was my dress. Exactly. He protested, but I had ignored him because it was my dress. Good on you, OP. Thank you. Oh. His now wife reached out to me saying that they were getting married and she wanted my dress. I told her to have him buy her a new dress. I told him to have him buy her a new dress. Well, I mean, shouldn't she buy her dress? She should be buying her wedding dress, not OP's ex-husband. She should buy her own dress. Personal opinion. Buy it, make it, do whatever you want. Do your own dress, not your ex's wedding dress. Isn't that bad luck? I feel like that's bad luck. I feel like, what do you doing right now? Right now I am reading a Reddit story. What are you doing right now? She said that they can't afford an expensive wedding dress like mine because his parents kicked him out of the company and won't help out with the wedding. Well, I call that a him problem, not a you problem. That's a them problem. Not your circus, not your monkeys, not your problem. I told her that wasn't my fault and she needs to take that up with them. Yeah? Yeah. They both kept reaching out and blowing me up about the stupid dress. I got sick of it and I cut the dress up and told her if she can fix it, she can have it. That's petty as hell. Oh, I can't say much. I would pull the same shit. They have been going on a Facebook rant blowing up this out of proportion. My dad told me that I could have just given her my dress, but my mom and my ex's mom said that they would have done the same, and I'm starting to feel like an asshole because my dad never puts in his 2 cents, so am I the a hole? Edit, I wasn't able to donate it. I had done a divorce photo shoot with the dress and accidentally spilled red wine on it. I had intentions to donate it after the photos, but I couldn't get the stain out, and neither could a professional cleaner. Okay. I don't see why you would want to donate it either. Like, you could give it to somebody if you wanted to, but that's your wedding dress. And it's bad luck for somebody to wear the wedding dress of somebody who got divorced, isn't it? Like, I feel like I feel like there's definitely a superstition behind that. So honestly, OP, you were kind of saving her. No, you are not the a hole simply based on the fact that this is your wedding dress to begin with. Nobody has the right to tell you, oh, hey, I want your dress. But also, you're not the a hole because at the end of the day, you kind of saved them from the bad luck of reusing your wedding dress from a marriage that ended quite badly. Wouldn't that like, I feel like wearing the dress from a divorced wedding would like doom your marriage to end the same way in divorce as the last person who wore the dress. But I'm also a fairly superstitious person. So either way, not the a hole is my verdict. And if I'm being completely honest, you don't need an expensive dress for your wedding. You can have a pretty dress, yes. You don't need an extravagantly expensive wedding gown. Like, you don't need that. And if you can't afford it, then you find something that is in your price range that is just as pretty as the overly extravagantly expensive gown. Am I wrong here? You work within your means. You don't work within someone else's means, and you definitely don't ask your ex's ex what your fiance's ex-wife for her wedding dress from the marriage that ended in divorce because he cheated. I feel like that's a bad idea. No, you're not the a-hole. You kind of kept her from cursing herself, but at the exact same time, eh. All right. Another story from Am I the A-hole? This is from Lack of Femininity. Okay, Lack of Femininity. I am happy to read your story, my dear. Am I the a-hole for giving my son's girlfriend a budget for the dinner she's making? I don't know, maybe. It depends how she prefers to cook, what she prefers to like, if she's able to. Is she vegan? Because that's some expensive shit. She can only give you chickpeas if you make the budget too small. The fuck. Let me read this. My son, 23 male, graduated university back in June, and he moved back across the country to live with us since he found a job in the area. Okay. He's been in a long distance relationship with his girlfriend, Carmilla, 21 female, until October. She initially took a semester off from college and was living with her mom. Okay, budget friendly. We love that. However, she's decided that she's not going back. Her mom said that she would have to move out and she had nowhere to go. Okay, well, that sucks. Family issues, always no fun. My son is moving into his own place in January and had invited her to move in already, saying that she should get a job in the area. However, she needed to move out sooner. Ooh. And they both asked me if she could move in. I agree. Neither are paying rent, as I personally don't believe in charging my kids to live here. Okay, well, that's nice. So it felt wrong to charge Carmilla any. Yeah, that seems that kind of makes sense. I just asked that they clean up after themselves and be respectful of everyone, and they agreed. Carmela moved in after Halloween, and she has been a joy to have here. She's still looking for a job. Most nights, she's offered to cook dinner to give back to us. That's really nice of her. I love that. She sounds like a sweet girl. I've always told her that it's not necessary, but she insists. And she's a really good cook, so I tell her if she wants to, have at it. Okay, well, that seems like a win win to me. A week into her living here, she mentioned wanting to make a certain dish, but we didn't have the ingredients. I offered to give her my card so that she could buy groceries. Since then, it's become a regular thing. I didn't mind it initially, and she picked up my groceries as well, and it seemed to be a good deal all around. But then, a couple of weeks in, she started wanting to make multiple trips a week and buy things that I normally wouldn't budget for on a regular basis, such as steak and seafood. Well, okay. I asked her on Sunday when she went to the store to please get everything she needed in one trip, and she said okay, and I thought that that had solved the problem. Cut to Monday night, and we finished dinner. She and my son are talking while I'm doing the dishes, and Carmilla mentions wanting to make steak on Thursday. And my son says that that sounds good, and Carmilla says that she'll have to go back to the store. Oi. My son turns to me and says, Mom, give her the card. Okay, you ask, good sir. That's starting to sound entitled. I tell them no. I say I already gave her money to go shopping on Sunday and told her to get everything that she needed. I also said that we can't swing everyone having steaks this week. 6 people in the house. Yeah, that's a lot of moolah. I feel like, yeah, that's not in the budget. Steak isn't in the budget right now. It's not like, oi. But maybe I can make them for Christmas dinner. I then go on to say if Carmilla wants to keep cooking for us, which I appreciate, I am going to have to put her on a budget. I apologize for not doing it sooner. And Carmilla looks upset, and my son seems offended. Well, no, there's This is getting entitled. This is turning entitled. Where did this is turning into audacity. Later on, my son tells me I embarrassed Carmilla when she's just trying to be nice. I said that I appreciate her cooking dinner, but she's doing it on my dime and I can't afford this. I pointed out that he's free to have her money to give her money to do this, and my son pointed out that they only have a few more weeks. I can't just make my guest happy. Am I really in the wrong here? No, no, you're not. It's so you have done a really good thing, OP. You've done a very, very good thing. And I understand that they are trying to give back and help out, but at the exact same time, their giving back and helping out is getting very expensive. And it's not right for you to exactly have to foot the bill for that. It seems a little bit over extravagant, if I'm being completely honest. It really is. It's not cool for people to just simply be automatically assuming that you're going to pay for everything, especially when you've already been paying for just about everything that you can muster. It's getting to a point where it's not okay for them to be asking you to continually do this. And if you're setting boundaries on how much spending can be done off of your card and your bank account, that is understandable, and nobody should be arguing about that with you. It's your money, and nobody has the right to tell you what to do with it, OP. There's a boundary that you have set, and if they do not want to allow you to have these boundaries, then they're going to have to figure out something else or just live with being upset with you not paying for them to have beef constantly because you can't afford it. And I'm sorry, but depending on where you live, beef and seafood and stuff is extremely expensive. If you don't live in a fishing community that also has like a bunch of farmland around, steaks and seafood are crazy expensive. Like if you live really far inland, seafood's super expensive. And if you're buying it from the grocery store instead of from a farm, steak's expensive anyway. You have to figure out different ways to budget for these things if you're going to eat them. If you're going to eat these types of specific foods all the time, then you have to figure out ways to get them straight from the source so that you can get it cheaper. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself into a hole of debt because you can't go without steak and fish. I'm sorry, but steak and shrimp is not that important. Steak and shrimp can be substituted for many, many other things in in your dietary plans and in your cooking. You don't need steak and shrimp all the time. And if that's putting you into a hole, OP, then you are perfectly justified in setting a boundary and telling your son and his girlfriend that they cannot buy steak and shrimp on your card all the time. You don't live in a fishing community. And if you don't live in a farming community, that shit is more expensive than it would be in those types of areas. And at the end of the day, if you are paying the extra for it to be cold shipped and paying the extra for it to be like, yeah, that's a lot. It's not just a grocery store markup from it coming straight off the boat to a plant and then directly to the grocery store. It's a huge extra markup for tariffs and the works. Like, honey, it is okay for you to set that boundary, not the asshole. My verdict, not the asshole. I don't even care what Reddit says. I say you're not the asshole here. Am I the a hole for refusing to financially support my parents and explaining why when my brother asked? That depends. Thanks everyone for paying attention to this point. Read all the comments, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is already figured out. Okay. Oh, he's been deemed not the asshole. So Reddit says he's not the asshole. Let's read and come to our own verdict here. I, 38 female, have been living in a different state from my family for over 10 years. I've supported myself the entire time and rarely asked anyone for help. Didn't grow up with my parents. My grandmother supported and raised me, and I never had a close relationship with them. Okay. Last year, I went on vacation with my siblings, and during the trip, I found out that my youngest brother, 29 male, who makes the most money out of all of them, has been paying the mortgage and most of our parents' living expenses. He asked me why I wasn't helping financially. Since he asked directly, I answered honestly. I told him that our parents didn't support me growing up and that I still remember when my grandmother asked me to write them a letter requesting financial support for my education, and my mom wrote back to my grandmother saying that she should teach me not to ask them for money because what my dad earned was just enough for them and my siblings. My grandmother let me read that letter, which I don't think my mom knows. I told my brother that I contributed financially when we immigrated and that I paid rent when I lived with them for 2 years. I also used whatever money I earned to help support my grandmother, who actually raised me until she passed away. After I moved to a different state, I've been completely on my own with zero financial help, and because of that history, I didn't feel responsible for supporting our parents now. That's fair. Okay, I'm starting to see why you were deemed not the a hole. Apparently, my brother told my mom. She confronted me via text and accused me of being disrespectful as a child. I explained my side and the experiences that shaped my feelings, and she mentioned times that she believes I was disrespectful, including verbal and physical conflicts. I explained that these incidents didn't happen in isolation and were often triggered by her actions, such as trying to persuade my grandmother to send me somewhere to dance for money or deliberately ruining my school uniform by putting soy sauce on it. Okay, that's your mother sounds awful. I told her that she had not treated me like a mother should when I was growing up. The conversation didn't go well, and afterward, my mom stopped talking to me. Eventually, the rest of my family did too. Now, I'm basically no contact with all of them, and I feel like I told the truth and set a reasonable boundary, but somehow I'm the one who ended up alone. Yeah, it feels like a reasonable boundary. Am I the a hole for refusing to help financially and explaining the reasons when asked? Info 1. Just to clarify, my siblings paying most of my parents' mortgage isn't actually a hardship. The cost is split 3 ways between two brothers and one sister, and they all still live in my parents' home. I've never lived there and don't even have a room in that house. So I'm being asked to contribute to a household that I was never part of. Their mortgage is under a 2K, which is cheaper than most people pay for rent now. My siblings divide that amount based on income. My brother pays the most, and the other two split the rest. They also split utilities and groceries. Okay. My parents also receive a fixed income from Social Security, which they use to travel back and forth between two countries. They're not struggling by any means. No, they're not, OP. You're right. They simply want to keep their same lifestyle without adjusting their spending. I'm married and we don't have kids yet. My husband and I set up our finances so either one of us could cover all of the household expenses alone if necessary. That's intentional for if I get pregnant, I'd be able to stop working for a while without financial issues. Okay, that seems honestly responsible. My parents and siblings see that stability and assume that it means I have extra money to give them. Absolutely not. You do not. Basically, because my husband could support me. No. Realistically, they could sell their house, make a significant amount of money, which would easily support their retirement back in my home country. And my siblings are in their late 20s or early 30s, so They're fully capable of moving out, renting their own places, and being their own independent and building their own independent lives if they wanted to. But that's not what they're choosing to do. Living together is simply cheaper for everyone involved and it benefits all of them. That's their choice. But it doesn't mean that I am required to subsidize it. So, no, I don't think that I am the a hole in this situation, which is why it's confusing to be treated like I am. Yeah, I get that, OP. Two, soy sauce was the most accessible thing for her to use because it was one of our main seasonings at home. When I was a teenager, school meant everything to me. It was my escape and the only path that I saw towards a better future. Damaging my uniform wasn't random, it was the easiest and most effective way for her to hurt me. It was a big deal too because I only had one uniform, which means that I hand wash it as soon as I get home, then let it air dry overnight and wake up early in the morning to iron it. I basically had to hand wash it and dry using an iron just to make it to school that day. What a sin. Think of it like someone deliberately pouring red wine on a wedding dress. It's meant to destroy the one thing they know matters most to you. Three, yes, during that time, going abroad to dance is often used as a cover to lure girls into trafficking. It's presented as legitimate work, but many end up exploit it once they get there. I hope that that helps clarify it. So basically, your mother's a monster. Got it. Got it. Um, Holy Hannah, that's fudging terrifying. How on earth did you even put up with this, OP? Like, do you have the patience of a saint? Is this. I'm actually reading this right now. Wow. I actually just read that. That's absolutely something. Huh. Wow. OP, you are a kind of a saint at the end of the day. How did you even put up with that? No, you are not the asshole. How? Okay, this one is from or written by SuperAd 2617 and it is titled Am I the A-hole for refusing to cover a shared cost after my coworker wouldn't show me the break of what the money had gone towards so far? Okay. I, 24 female, recently started my first full time job after graduating. My company has an optional team social fund where each member of our small department contributes a set amount every month to cover birthday treats. Okay, that's sweet. Team lunches, and small surprises. It sounded harmless, so I joined when my worker Liam asked. He manages the fund, and everyone sends him their contribution directly. Not that I suspected anything, but last month I asked if he could give me a breakdown of what the money had gone towards so far, because I am trying to be better about tracking my spending. And my mom drilled into me that I should always know where my money is going. He said, yeah, I'll get it to you later, and he didn't. Give him the benefit of the doubt for a few days, at least. Okay, a few days later, he didn't send anything, but he reminded me that my monthly contribution was due. I asked politely for the breakdown again. No reply. I waited for a few days and sent a follow up. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so I would be a little bit worried at this point. I would think that there was something going on. I would be a little bit suspicious. Just a little bit suspicious. Suspicious. Suffering succotash, I'd be suspicious. Uh. I waited a few days and sent a follow up. Absolutely nothing. He responds to other messages in the work group chat, but mine about the fund get ignored. Okay, that's suspicious too. Last week, he came to my desk and said, "Hey, you still haven't sent your part for the fund this month." I told him that I'd be happy to once I get the breakdown I'd asked for. Nothing complicated, just a list of what's been purchased with everyone's contributions. That, okay, it feels a little bit weird that you're demanding this, but at the same time, somebody's got to look at it other than him. His whole demeanor shifted. He sighed loudly and said nobody else needs this level of detail. It's supposed to be casual, and you're making it weird. I told him that it wasn't personal, it's just my judgment and my comfort. He walked away mid sentence. Uh, I feel like it should be more than just him working on this. Now, a couple of coworkers have hinted that I'm overthinking everything and making extra work for Liam. Once even said that I was being stingy for not just paying like everyone else. I'm starting to feel guilty, but it also seems like a basic thing to ask when I'm handing over money every month. Am I the a-hole for for refusing to contribute again until he shows me what the fund's actually being spent on? Yes and no. Okay. So, yes, because it's not your business. None of your business at all about what exactly is the entire thing is being spent on. But no, at the exact same time, because there needs to be more than just him who is seeing the expenses versus what's coming in. Because if this man is possibly making a profit off of this little in office fund, then at the end of the day, there's a very good possibility that he could be taking money off of the top rather than rolling it over for next month, if you know what I mean. I do personally believe that there needs to be at least two or three more people who see what comes in and what goes out, other than just this one man, specifically to make sure that he is not running an in office scam. However, it's also none of your business specifically to know exactly what is being spent on with all of the funds. Like, you see it, don't you? You know what everything's going to. So, what? This is literally. It's their. Eh. I feel like there needs to be a middle ground because it is both a yes and no. Because if you are not, see, in a lot of different companies, you need specific clearances to see some of the budgets. And if you don't have that, then no, you shouldn't be looking at that. And also, yes, there should be more than one person who is doing the budgeting for that little fund that everybody into the office pays into. Yes, both of these answers are correct at the exact same time. So you are both the asshole and not the asshole at the same time. That's just what I think. Because on one hand, it's absolutely none of your business. On the other hand, it is justified to ask for more than one person to have access to knowing all that. Yeah. Is Can we put a middle ground area in here? Alrighty. So this one was written by Victorious 2. Okay. And it is titled, "Am I the a-hole for saying no to my brother in law's best friend coming around for Christmas Day?" Possibly? All right. Let's read the story. This is my first time posting here, and I would genuinely like an outside perspective, not my family or friends who will just agree with me. I, 37 female, feel awkward as hell about this. My brother in law has a best friend, 42 male, who recently separated from his wife, and he did not take it well. And he lived on his own for a short while, hated it, and has now moved in with my sister, 40 female, and her husband. Okay, what's the problem? A few months ago, he asked my sister for my number. I laughed it off and said he had me on Facebook so he could just message me there. He did, and then kept asking me out. I would be a little bit uncomfortable with that too, actually. Yeah. I kept things light because the situation already felt awkward, and he lives with my sister. He is clearly not over his ex, and at one point, he got absolutely wasted on what would have been his wedding anniversary. It all felt like emotional chaos, and I didn't want to get involved in it. Understandable. That's very understandable, OP. I also wasn't in a good place myself mentally, and I tried to hint at that by saying, I don't feel good, but I wasn't direct, and that part was on me. Okay. I didn't want to date anyone while my head was a mess. And yeah, you have that right to not want to, and you have the right to not do that. Eventually, he stopped replying, and honestly, I was relieved, and I assumed that that was that. Then, out of nowhere, he messages saying that he thought I was being an awkward asshole for not replying before, realizing it was actually him who didn't reply and apologizing. I ignored it because why am I being called that in the first place? This is just funny at this point. I mean, I understand that it was probably jarring in the moment, but come on, OP, this is fucking funny. This is fucking funny. He then messaged again saying, why don't you love me? I'm sorry, I would just start laughing and block him at this point. At about 2:30 in the afternoon while I was at work, it really annoyed me. No matter how I responded, it felt like I would somehow end up being made out to be the bad guy, so I ignored that too. So would I. I assumed that was the actual end of it. Fast forward to now, my mom asks if he can come over for Christmas Day, and she doesn't know any of this. I said that I would rather he didn't because it would be awkward, and I thought that would be the end. It wasn't. Oh no. Oh no. My dad then brings it up, and again, I say no because he makes me uncomfortable. Dad says that I'm being mean, so everything comes out the messages and how uncomfortable he's made me. And my mom talks to my sister, who apparently already told him those messages were inappropriate and that she would talk to him about going elsewhere for Christmas. So I thought that it was sorted. And it wasn't. Why is it that OP here always thinks that everything is all figured out and sorted out and it never is? God love her. Today, my dad asks if he apologizes to you, can he come for Christmas then? I still said no. And I told him that if he comes, I am going elsewhere. That is fair. That's fair. I would understand that. I get that. I get that. Why are they so insistent that this dude who was basically harassing you absolutely has to show up for Christmas to come harass you more? I feel like it is fair to yeah. I know that the whole thing sounds absolutely ridiculous. It is. And it kind of is. That you're right, OP. It is ridiculous. But I just feel awful and like I'm suddenly the bad guy when I haven't done anything wrong. So, am I the a hole? No, no, you're not the a hole. This dude moved in with your sister, and her boyfriend is low-key stalking you, kind of harassing you, being extremely inappropriate, begging you to know why you don't love him, and trying to invade your Christmas day. Dude needs to chill. Like, buddy's got to go. This is not normal human behavior. This is the behavior of somebody who does not understand how functionally communicating works. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This dude needs the world's greatest reality check that has ever seen, that has ever been able to see or sail the seven seas. Okay. Holy fat doffy. That shit ain't right. Okay. Anyways, thank y'all for coming to the live. I love you. I will see y'all later on. You have a magnificent day. Have a beautiful afternoon. As my daddy always said, be good, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Mwah.